Mohamed Elmasry is a professor of media studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. He joins us from the Qatari capital. Thank you so much indeed for your time, Mohamed. What is going on here?
Well, I think it's consistent with Donald Trump. I mean, we've had a decade now of Donald Trump in politics. We know that he has authoritarian tendencies. We understand that he's an imperialist. He sees himself as a very much transactional, as a business person who wants to make money. So it's not necessarily a surprise. I've heard some analysts suggest that this is all just kind of hot air, or maybe an attempt by Trump to sort of divert attention away from the Epstein files. I don't doubt that he wants to divert attention away from the Epstein files, among other things. But I think he's serious. I think he means business. And unless the European Union, unless European countries, NATO countries, take a stand, then I think there's a very distinct possibility that this will come to pass.
The thing is, being belligerent, being aggressive, using verbal threats, to a certain extent, people understand that that is an element of Donald Trump's method of communicating, but to do it so blatantly to long-standing allies, how do they deal even with the language that is coming their way? Because they must be very tempted to say something similar in return, and yet, how do you fight a bully? A bully is usually bigger and stronger than you.
Yeah, I'm afraid that that's all of that is probably above my pay grade. I unfortunately don't have the great advice for them, except to say that sitting back and doing nothing and accepting the bully's bullying is not going to work. I think there should be the threat of retaliatory tariffs, which would certainly be a losing proposition for European countries, but it would also be a losing proposition for the United States. It would be a lose-lose. And then we would have to enter into kind of a contest of who is going to blink first. But this would do tremendous harm to Donald Trump and to the Republicans' chances of performing well in next year's midterms, because there are so many American industries that are dependent fundamentally on the European market, tech industries, aerospace, pharmaceuticals, entertainment, production houses, and higher costs would be passed on to the American consumer, and none of that would be good for Trump or for the Republicans.
How difficult is it, Mohamed, do you think, for actually citizens of those countries that he is threatening, those allies that he's threatening with tariffs, if they don't come on board with this Greenland plan? Because I've been trying to gauge reaction amongst the public in France and the UK especially, and I'm hearing a lot of voices there saying, we need to stand up to the American president. We need to show who we are. These are citizens who have a desire that maybe their politicians can't deliver.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of fear and trepidation on the part of leaders. They don't want to cross Donald Trump. They don't want to get on the bad side of the United States. But it's interesting you mentioned the citizenries, and I think that's important. What we see consistently from Donald Trump is that he does not care about the agency of local populations. We see that in the United States, where Trump and the Republicans are really working to kind of dismantle some of the basic democratic norms in the United States. We see it in Venezuela with Trump going in and kidnapping a leader without any regard for what Venezuelan citizens think or want. We see it in Gaza, certainly, where the Palestinians and Palestinian agency are not even afterthoughts in the Trump vision. And certainly we're seeing it now in Greenland, where there's no reference at all to what the people of Greenland actually want.
Mohamed Elmasry, thank you so much indeed.